Okay, people, in the next clip, I'm going to explain you how the digestion system works. This is a super interesting process, and it's really important for us to understand that process because we have to understand what is the connection of leaky gut that interfered this process and why it's so crucial. So that process, or we can say also that the digestion system as an organ is one of the most important organs because it gives you energy, it gives you vitality, and there's a huge connection between the digestion system and the brain that later on I will explain you why. So let's start. How it starts basically when you start to smell food. When you start to smell food, something in your body starts to awake and there's some kind of an appetite that starts to rise. And when you start to smell the food, the saliva glandary start to produce saliva. When you start to put the food in your mouth, there's enzymes in their saliva. It starts to softening or slash decomposing the food, and then it's easier to chew. As you notice, when you already put the food in your mouth, the saliva starts to make it a little bit softer. And then it goes down the esophagus to your stomach, and then the process of the digestion continues. And later on, there's a signal from the stomach to the gallbladder, the pancreas, and the liver to send, let's say, to have the role in the digestion process. And then it goes down to the small intestine. And from there, most of the digestion starts to happen. And this is the point when it's very, very important to understand the leaky gut. Because if there is some kind of interference in the digestion, this is why it's such a long intestine. So it means that most of the food is not being absorbed or digested, and it starts to create toxins in the body. If it's a normal process and everything is okay in the process, later on it goes to the large intestine, and then of course all the waste is going out through the anus and go out from the body. All the waste, all the things that the body doesn't need from the food. So in that sense, in that process, as I said before, so if the food is start to stay in the intestine, and on the other hand starts to go to where um, the immune system is being positioned in the digestion system, then we start to create an inflammation. And this is why everything a little bit starting to connect, as I told you before. So it means if there is a food sensitivity or interference of toxins that starts to go to the where the immune system in the digestion system, and these toxins or this food are not going out from the large intestine to the anus as a waste, and it's creating some kind of a chronic inflammation or a vicious cycle that the body doesn't have any other choice than to create some kind of inflammation to solve that problem. But the thing is that while we continue to consume food, toxins, or any kind of factors that we talked about before that creating the leaky gut, the body doesn't have the ability to solve it by itself. So this is the starting point that we can understand how we can solve the problem.